Mr. Donny Hillier.
Haha. Hi, Bay. How are you?
Don? Good, man. Good.
Doing
How
great.
you been?
Doing great. Good. Really good. You?
Hanging in there. As best as can be
I
done.
see. I think I saw that your show's on Spotify now.
Yeah, it's a whole new world, isn't it? Like, who would have thought? Let alone the whole streaming of music onto this Spotify thing, and now podcast as well.
Yeah, that's really good for you, huh?
Yeah. It's new. It's different. It's exciting. It's it's super cool. Now I can almost feel like a rock star like you guys.
Well, okay. We're all just doing our thing. That's it.
Right. So you guys, I mean, first off, it's kind of scary. Like, I didn't realize. The show to how time is really flying. The last time we talked was 10 months ago. I didn't realize it was that long.
Wow. Yeah. It does fly fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was when you guys put the Rage out, and that started the whole buzz and the excitement going for the new album and the new music. And you guys, the new album is now out, As the World Dies, and it's like just a whole new rebirth of Trauma.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's really what we had in mind when we put the band back together. This is what Chris and I envisioned us sounding more like.
And actually, like the sound. I mean, it's not even like thrash. I mean, there's like some parts of songs that still have that like thrash feel to it, but it's more of just like a truly like a classic heavy metal album.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that these things, the songs on the album, happened just, due to the songwriting talents of the members of the band. But I think that's really a good description of it. And I think there's, a range of songwriting abilities. And I think this album shows it. The songs, have a range to them.
Absolutely. It's almost, and like at times I kept saying to myself, like it's almost like an Iron Maiden style that you guys have morphed into.
There's some of that. I mean, Iron Maiden is a influence of every member of the band. So yeah, I mean, the classic people. I mean, if you asked any one of the members of the band, who their influences are, along with others, they would all say Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Ronnie James Dio, Black Sabbath, Ozzy's solo work. I mean, yeah, it's just where we're from.
Absolutely. And it's got to be, I mean, especially for like you and Chris, I mean, this is truly your baby, and Chris came on very early on in the whole Trauma world, but it's almost now like after 30 plus years, like it's happening. Like it's finally truly coming together, and I can't imagine like the excitement you must be feeling.
Pretty happy. You say it's our baby, and yeah, I mean, Chris and I are we're the constant in it. We have the longevity, but I mean, we are really 5 musicians now. I mean, this is a total team effort. Songwriting, just the way we get along with each other. There's a lot of respect here, and even the newer members of the band, they're not thinking and talking that way. Like, this is Chris and Don's band. It's just not like that. And I hope to God that we just keep that chemistry.
That's awesome.
It's really, when people start out in music, I mean, I always was really, really into the camaraderie, the other band members. They become your best friends, and sure, you can fight, you come and go and all of that, but it's a big thing. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I don't know, but that's really a big part of the life of being in a band. You need each other.
Absolutely. It's funny. Like, I can actually hear it in your voice, like the excitement in your voice.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about this album. I mean, yeah, it was just really it really was a labor of love, and all five of us are really stoked on it. We love every song on it. There are songs that didn't make it, and maybe they'll be reworked a little bit, and we'll re-record them. But we just we're really this is a part of us, and I think we're all thinking that this is where we want it to be in our careers.
That's awesome. Do you kind of like almost pinch yourself and be like, wow, this is what it's supposed to feel like. This is how it's supposed to be.
Well, I mean, I would pinch myself if we were out, doing more touring and totally immersed in it, so much that every day is all about the band. But as far as when I listen to the album, and as far as I know, every member of the band still listens to this album. I mean, it's been a few days since I have, but when I listen to the album, I mean, I'm going, oh my God, Steve, that was just a great solo on that song. And then I'll listen to Greg's bass guitar, and it's just, I'm really proud of the members of this band. I mean, they're good. They're freaking good. I'm so happy to be a part of it with them.
And now you said about like totally immersing yourself in the band, like day to day, and does that kind of does it kind of scare you into a bit, because it's
no,
I mean, that's really a big dive.
No, I mean, I think, I talk to Chris, pretty often on the phone, and when we're not all together as a band, and we're like, okay, wouldn't it be great if we were playing today? Because we don't play every day. We're not
Right.
playing. We're not playing as much as we want to, and we're hoping that changes soon. We're hoping that this album kicks open some doors for us. You and I have talked. We know the state of the music industry, and we know the state of metal, and so it's there's just a lot of competition, and you have to really work hard to get any recognition at all. So we're eager for more. We're eager for more touring, more live dates, go back in the studio and record more. So you can't throw enough at us right now.
Maybe it's me, but it seems like maybe in like the last few months, you guys might have played more in the last few months than you did all last year.
Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, and you're right. The Rage did get things started. Greg came in, and so quickly after Greg was there, we were in the studio doing the Rage, and that got out and got some attention, and then we just started, we did a few shows, and then we started working on the album, and we worked on that as quickly as we could. Of course, it always takes longer than you think, and Joe produced the album, did a lot of the engineering, and then Juan Ortega, who's really known in the thrash world, Trident Studios in Pacheco, California. He did, a major part of the final mixing, working in tandem with Joe, and it goes on and on. Is the album ready yet? No, we've got to do this, we got to do that kind of thing. So,
right.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, things are really escalating, and we really needed that.
Yeah, actually, you guys were out here on the East Coast. I saw. Was it last month?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was late. When was it? Yeah, late April.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it was kind of a whirlwind. We did 7 cities in 9 nights, and
wow.
and it was just to let people know the band is willing to tour. We're alive, and so it really was the distances between the cities. They were all major metropolitan areas, and it was really important for us to end up in New York because we met with Skateboard Marketing, who's actually promoting the Rage to radio stations in the U.S., and we went and met with the Orchard Sony, who's distributing our music digitally. And it was, so that was kind of the peak of it. And then a couple of days later, we had to fly to San Diego to fulfill a commitment. We had canceled a show there a couple of times due to things like the album, we needed to finish the album, all that kind of thing. So it was kind of the routing was like really almost, it almost didn't make sense, but we just had to do it and get that behind us.
That was probably the first time you were out here on the East Coast in a while, hasn't it?
That's the first time Trauma was ever on the East Coast or the Midwest. So, up until then, Trauma had only ever played the West Coast and a couple of dates in Germany, Hamburg, Germany, a couple of years back, and then we did the 70,000 Tons of Metal last year, and so yeah. So there's parts of the country this band had never set foot in.
Holy cow! That's got to be kind of like truly a step back. Like, oh my God, like. This is real now. Trauma's really getting there. We're making a world, a nationwide domination first, and then a world.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. And so, I mean, I would love to play every major city in this country. I'd love to, get back to Europe as soon as possible. And we dig playing live. I mean, we went through a lot on that route, travel and all the complications and hardships that presents, but being on stage, I mean, we have a good time with each other, and that's of course why you're doing it. And we met so many cool people. Some of the bands, the opening bands, there's some really good musicians out there, and people in the clubs and people who already knew us or didn't know us, and it was just really cool, the meet and greets and all of that after the shows. That's why you're doing it. I mean, we all know metal people they're just special. They're so devoted to the genre, and just love it. Just love meeting them.
It is. I hope you guys come down to the Philly area at some point. It'd be a beautiful thing.
Me too. Yeah. No, I thought about you. I mean, I wasn't booking the route, but I thought about you, and I remember we've talked a couple of times. The scene wasn't looking real good, and then I think you were promoting a few shows yourself, and that's the last I knew about it. But I'm not sure. Tell me what's happening in the Philly area.
Well, I started promoting some shows last year. Actually, I don't know if you know this or not, but I was diagnosed early last year with like this weird, rare disease called sarcoidosis, which the disease's claim to fame is that's what Bernie Mac, the comedian Bernie Mac, died from. Affects your lungs, your whole body. It just like totally just wears you down, problems breathing, trouble moving, like everything. So I started going into it, and then like midway through the summer, I was just like, I can't do this. Like it's just beating me up too much. So I like took a step back, and I'm like, I gotta like focus on my health. And actually, it was just all last year just going down the tubes. And so my doctor, beginning of the year, he was like, there's this new drug out there. It's an injection. Let's try to get you on this. And for actually the last 4 or 5 months, we've been fighting with our insurance company to get me on this, and they kept denying. And the drug manufacturer turned around last week and said, we're just going to give it to you for free. We'll give it to you.
Nice.
And see if that works. Yeah, so it actually just was delivered to me on Friday, and I have a nurse coming this week. They're going to, because I am a big baby and I can't do a needle or anything like that. So They're going to
Okay.
teach my wife how to inject it, and
Yeah.
I'll start that this week. And I'm hoping going to change things and make me feel a lot
Yeah.
better.
So
But
it's too soon to tell, right? But I mean, you're not necessarily feeling better yet because it's too soon to tell. But the prospect is that the probability is that you will, right?
that's what they're saying. Like I can like start to feel human again. So that that is my goal.
Good.
I want to feel human again. I want to have energy, be able to do things and stuff like that. So, but actually,
man. Yeah.
another band that I've had on the show a few times, they reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and they were like, we're doing some Warped Tour days, we're doing some this, and we want to come into Philly. Can you help us? And I'm like I cringed. I was like, uh-oh. And I reached out to a couple local promoters I know from the area and see, like, can you do this on this date? They're looking to fill a date, and nobody can do it. I'm like, oh, crap. It's going to come down on me, isn't it? And here I am. I'm putting this show together now. So.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good for you. Good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've really been through it. So, God, I wish you the best. And yeah, I hope that new drug is it for you.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, we have to get you guys in Philly. There's a lot of cool bands that would totally fit on a show with you. Like I already have it pictured in my head, and I'm just like, gotta make it happen.
All right, nice. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We'd love to do that.
Now, how about it's funny because as I was going through the band's Facebook, and you mentioned that the music is being released digitally through the Orchard Sony Music.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think like that would happen, especially like in 2018? Like I saw the picture of you guys outside the Sony Music building, and it kind of like it's funny and ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. that was fun. That was fun going there and meeting Chris Louderbeck, who's working with us, and yeah, I mean, you could see that we were like, oh, this is a good day. So yeah. It's I mean they're big time. Their distribution is huge worldwide. So it's really good to be with them.
Absolutely. Now, you guys gonna be doing any videos or?
Well, we have a lyric video of The Rage that is coming out June 5th. And it's coming out on the Orchard's YouTube channel, and I guess they're doing some mastering of it, and so it was going to be out a couple of days ago, but they needed a little more time to do some technical mastering of it. So we're looking forward to that. We're talking about doing some other videos. Although, skateboard, Muncie Ritchie is promoting The Rage to radio stations, but on its own, people have embraced From Here to Hell, the song From Here to Hell. And
right.
So we saw that is Kerrang, the British metal magazine Kerrang had it on a Spotify list as the number one new metal song. So that was like a really nice surprise. And then we're seeing that From Here to Hell is getting more plays on Spotify on the featured metal list on Spotify than the other tracks. So
wow.
So I don't know. Maybe we would make a video of that.
That's cool. It sounds like you've really like with the Spotify, like you're really tuned into this like whole new thing. It's like you've embraced it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Spotify's helping us. We're not really sure what's going on in Europe, but okay. So our Facebook page and me personally, for the last week, we're getting all these likes from people in Eastern Europe. I mean, so Romania, Bulgaria, to me, all these exotic places, of course, Greg has been through all that part of the world extensively, and he says he loves playing there. But yeah, so somebody's I don't know, somebody's got it out to them over there, and I'm not sure, through what digital service that happens, but I know we've got the music out on Amazon and Spotify, and Pandora just got it this week within the last couple of days. So I don't know what they listen to in Eastern Europe, but I know something's happening there. So it's really fun seeing the names. Some of the letters in their names, I don't even recognize the letters. So they're Russian or Macedonian or something like that. But it's I mean, that's what we wanted, was for people to hear it everywhere.
Well, it's getting, I mean, tremendous reviews. Like all the reviews I was saying, I mean, it's like 5 of 5 stars, 2 out of 10 star. Like it's getting tremendous praise.
Yeah, so far nobody's hating it, but anyway, yeah. I think, and I think what we most wanted was to create an album that people would listen to and they'd go, oh, I want to hear that song again, or I want to hear that album again, because there's some layers in there, in the production and the, it's not the songs aren't necessarily predictable either. So, if people feel that way about it, we're really, really happy and gratified.
That's awesome. It's very cool. It's such an exciting time. I'm so happy for you and the guys. I really am.
Thank you, Bay. And you've been a really good friend at Traumas. And so thank you very much for everything you've done for us.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Totally behind you guys, since day one, since we've talked, honestly, and it's been because of you. I mean, you're a great guy. I highly respect you, and the music, I just became a lover of the music, so.
Feelings mutual. Anytime you want to talk to me, I'm game. I always enjoy it.
Absolutely. Cool. So I guess the plans now for the rest of the year is, besides getting the music out there, is trying to possibly put a tour together, get on a tour with other bands, or.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we would love to open for, a heavy hitter. That would be ideal for us.
Sure.
We are getting offers to play live dates. But the album's only been out, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that. Yeah. So things haven't really been solidified. We have heard from some people that want to bring us back to the East Coast. Actually, there was some interest from Scandinavia, and nothing. Northern California, some interest there. We went and played the Whiskey A Go-Go and the Viper Room in Hollywood last week.
How was that?
And that was it was great. It was really fun. And so we met some really cool people down there, and it was really fun being down on the Sunset Strip and all that stuff. And those clubs are legendary. So, and just the band, just just us traveling together, we really had a good time. So, so we got some Northern California offers, things like that. Nothing. We're not really committed to anything yet right now, but the album is making a little bit of noise, and so people are starting to contact our management.
Nice. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
the
it is.
Buzz is definitely out there. And I can just see. It's been, I guess, 3 years now since we've been talking, and it was kind of quiet along the Trauma front, but now I'm seeing it like everywhere. I'm seeing it all over social media. I'm seeing the buzz. I'm seeing, the plays, the videos being shared. I'm like, here we go. It's ramping up. Here we go.
Well, it's good that you're seeing it. Yeah. Cause I mean, we watch it closely because it's us, trying to promote our band, but if you're seeing it, that's really good to hear. And, I mean, basically we virtually started over again. So, it's hard to launch a band, in this day and age. And we had some name recognition, but it really was like starting over again.
Could you even, like if you didn't have that name recognition or done what you've done over the last so many years, could you imagine actually starting fresh from scratch? Not even being trauma, just like a whole new thing.
I mean, I would because this is what I love doing. I would, but oh my God, that would be hard. I mean, even super groups struggle, to get out there and to draw a crowd. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you could be a heavyweight icon in the metal world for 30 years, and then you do a super group or a splinter group, and it's just like getting people to come see you. Good luck. I mean, a lot of it, of course, is the songwriting. You got to have the songs. A super group doesn't matter if you don't have the songs.
Right. Now, how about that? Like the rest of the guys in the band. I mean, something that we see so much now, like in the music business, is like you're saying, like these splinter groups and people are doing all these different side projects and everything. Are any of the other guys doing side projects, or is everybody just focused on trauma and this is it?
Right now, 4 of us just trauma, but Greg has actually done a recording. He was actually at Juan Ortega's studio a couple of days ago doing a project. It's not his project, but he was playing bass for a good friend of his,
Okay.
and actually Steve Zetro Souza came in and did a vocal on one of the tracks.
Oh, good.
So it's some friends doing a project, and
Sure.
I don't know what it's called. And Greg is so good, he'll come into the studio not necessarily knowing a song, and he'll start, he'll track his, and I know he loves doing that, and he would do that every day if he could. But he's the only one. He's the only one doing that right now that I know of. He's doing some friends projects. So
cool.
Yeah.
So So it makes things even a lot easier to truly focus and try to make things happen. Because I talk to so many bands, that runs into such a problem because everybody's so, not that they're not focused, but just focused on so many different outlets nowadays that it's hard to do any live shows at all.
Yeah, well, there is that, and then there's some some very known players that have their side projects that are really like cover bands, because there's that still strange dynamic where cover bands often pay more than original bands, and it's just so funny. It's all about I guess it's all about people are very nostalgic, and they really they appreciate something they're familiar with, and it's the adventurous people that want to hear something new.
well, even like recording wise, I mean, so many bands now are doing cover EPs, just to I don't know if it's just the fact that they're doing it to release something, but it's like more and more and more you're hearing bands doing covers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that seems to be a trend lately. Yeah, and I think and there are management people and who are saying, oh, you guys need to do. I'm not talking about us necessarily, but they like that concept. They like that idea, and I think a lot of that comes from management and marketing people,
right?
Knowing that people do like something familiar. You can twist it your way, but they like that familiar song, that established hit from days gone by.
Right. Now, would you tackle that? Would you start doing adding a cover song to the set or on an album, or?
Yeah, we've actually talked about doing that. We haven't really all agreed on a song, but there's been some interesting suggestions. But that's what I would want to do. Is I don't want to be like a jukebox or a karaoke version of a song. I'd like for us to step out and stretch it.
You gotta do something.
you know that Beatles album, what, Across the Universe or something like that? Did you ever see that?
No.
There was a Beatles album that they did videos of it, and it was like these different artists, and they put their own twist on the songs. It was really cool. Across the Universe, yeah. It was like, I started watching it, and I didn't really know what to expect. I was thinking, they're going to do Beatles songs, but man, they really got creative, and they did a video of all of them, and they were different singers and musicians, but it was really good. Really liked it. So if you like the Beatles at all, there's an example of people really, taking some creative license with some great music and doing their own thing.
I gotta definitely check that out. I'll tell you what, like the Beatles, honestly, more and more, like I find myself on days like that I just need to like sit in the office and like just kind of focus more on things and relax. I'm putting the Beatles more and more.
Really? Wow, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever? I don't know if we ever talked about this, but did you ever see the Lemmy documentary?
Documentary? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
he blew me away. He started talking about the Beatles and Little Richard and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy was like a music historian. And then there was a Beatles collection. I forget which one it was, and he wanted it so badly, and like the manager of Tower Records sold him their personal copy. And it was like, and he was so happy to have it. And I'm like, that is so awesome. I mean, this is Motorhead we're talking about, heavy metal, the maximum heavy metal. And this guy appreciates Little Richard and the Beatles. And that is it's just so outstanding. I mean, I hope people appreciate, how it's all come from, the Mississippi Delta, down through, rock and roll to England and the British invasion and what we are today. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, it's funny because there's that thing going around on Facebook where people nominate you to put up 10 different albums and how and you don't have to like comment on how they've affected your life, but 10 albums that have really affected your life. And I got tagged in it. I've been doing it this past week, and I put some like in the 70s, like I'll never forget, like the very first album that I was like 6 years old that I was given, and it was the one that made me want to play guitar was Sean Cassidy, the Do Run Run, and I put that up, and people's reaction was like so positive and so many great memories. Like I was taken back, and I was like, oh my God, like I expect to get slammed for it, and people were like so happy to see it. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Like people are actually, instead of ragging on the music, they're appreciating what it was and what it is and showing love for it. I'm like, wow, positiveness. It's a beautiful thing.
It is, yeah. I mean, that's because they were probably digging it too, and that is a beautiful thing. That is really cool because, I mean, music, we know music means different things to different people. There's so many different types of music and subgenres and everything, and if it moves you, it's a good thing,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool. Very cool.
And the new album is very cool. As the World Dies. Are you guys like foreseeing a near future for us now?
I'm sorry. What was the question, Bay? Are we what?
The new album, As the World Dies. Are you guys looking into the future? Is this like a prophecy for us now?
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, there's some relevant, pertinent, messages there. So, As the World Dies is a song about nuclear holocaust. So, I mean, we've all felt the possibility, maybe even within the last year,
Sure.
I mean, and you say deep down, probably not, but you go, God, man, I hope this does not escalate. So, I mean, yeah, there's some real stuff there, some real messages. No, I don't think we're prophesying the end of the world just yet.
Fingers crossed. I hope not.
Yeah, fingers crossed for all of us, right?
Right. Cool. So where should we send everybody to get the new album, the music?
Let's see, Apple, and Amazon. We actually have a limited run of CDs on cdbaby, but we haven't really pushed physical recordings.
Okay.
Because the focus was to, in the digital world that we live in, was to get it out digitally.
Right.
But there is talk about more physical CD production and vinyl. People are asking us about vinyl already. So those are the main outlets. I mean, if it's a digital outlet, I've been told if it's a digital outlet, it's there. So
the whole vinyl
and then it's
gotta be
vinyl's cool.
Yeah, like so many, like everybody I'm talking to now, like they're like blown away. They're selling more vinyl than anything. Like they can't believe it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's great. That's really turned around a lot, hasn't it? Yeah, the serious collectors and all of that. They want their vinyl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so happy it's back.
Yeah, definitely. That one went full circle, didn't it? It was like, vinyl,
And I don't think anybody saw it coming either. Everybody got blindsided by it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's too funny. So, Donny, it's always a pleasure. I'm happy to talk to you. I'm happy for you and the guys, and it's a very exciting time, and I can't wait to continue to watch the rise of trauma.
Well, anytime, Bay. It's always good to talk to you. We have a good time when we talk. So,
absolutely.
I wish you best wishes for a speedy recovery and your new medication and I know we'll keep in touch, and I look forward to the next time we talk.
Yeah,
and thank you so much for your support.
Always.
Sorry,
if you guys are coming out to the East Coast, let me know, and we can try to hook something up.
Definitely, yeah. If we had been coming close to Philly, I would have been calling you. But yeah, I hope we meet in person someday soon. And
I'm sure we will.
And I'm really glad you like the album. I'm very glad about that. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Cool, Donny. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you again.
Take care, Bay. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye now.